Hello, friends. It's John Lone King, and welcome to my next episode of From Profits to Properties, where I help you with business tactics that help you grow your profits beyond your wildest expectations, and then I help you to turn those profits into long-term wealth by investing in real estate. So this is going to be my last podcast of this season, and I want to focus today on what is the definition of success. How do you define success? What does that look like? And what do you do to make sure that you're actually pointing towards that definition of success on a regular basis? So I'll start by doing a little bit of self-reflection. So I've been doing this podcast for going on 8.5, 9 months now, and I love doing it. I enjoy sharing information. I enjoy pouring into other people. And I didn't really have a good definition of what success was going to look like in this podcast. What I do know is that in the last 9 months, it has fallen short of what I would define as success, but sometimes that's okay. Sometimes recognizing that you're not achieving the result you want to achieve as soon as you want to achieve it does not mean you're doing the wrong thing. As a matter of fact, I was listening to another podcast this morning, and it was a very, very successful real estate agent who is now a coach. And he was talking about how really a lot of his students have found success doing any number of different activities. And it didn't matter what activity they actually performed. What mattered is that they consistently performed the activity because they understood that success came from repetition. Success, in the case of what he was talking about, came from not the leads or clients that you generated as potential clients this year, but the leads and potential clients that you generated over the last 5 years that ended up coming together this year and doing a transaction with you. Business is cumulative, and activity within business, lead generation, is stacking upon the things that you had done before. And I've proven that in my own business over and over again. I'm proving it right now in the fact that I've got a very, very large database of clients that I have either done business with or attempted to do business with, or I'm trying to do business with right now. And I'm utilizing that database to market other programs and opportunities to them that are creating inertia from the nucleus of leads of past clients, of prospects that I have built. And it's that inertia, that activity that leads you to success. It doesn't matter as much the activity that you're doing. But at the same time, you have to recognize that if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, that's the definition of insanity. And so when you think about success, you have to think about, okay, let's take little tests along the way. Let's make sure that we're going down the right road and that we're not pouring a lot of time, energy, and effort into the wrong activity. And that's one of the evaluations I'm doing over the next 30 days when it comes to this podcast. Now, I am committed to podcasting. I'm committed to delivering my message. And I don't care whether only 2 or 3 people listen on a regular basis. By the way, I'm around 25 to 30 on average. But that's way less than what I was hoping for. Now, I've only been doing this for 9 months. And so I want to get some feedback. So if you're listening to this and you say, John, I love the content that you're providing and I want you to do more of it, please tell me that. If you're listening to this and you're saying, John, I like you, but this content isn't really resonating and I listen periodically, but it really isn't landing, I'd like to hear that too. There's a lot of different directions that I can pivot with this podcast. Rest assured, it is not going away. We're coming back season 2 in 2026. It is going to be stronger and continue to be consistently delivered every single week. But I'm going to take a hiatus over the next few weeks for the holidays. And I'm going to use that time to really think through what it is that I want to deliver. And I'd love to get feedback from the 3 of you that watch every single week. I'd love to hear back from you. So if you can email me, john@johnloneking.com, call me, text me, however you want to get a hold of me, I would be honored if you're willing to do that and give me some feedback on this podcast. But here's the point that I want to teach today, which is the North Star, your focus of success. It needs to be consistent, but not unmoving, not fixed and never changing. When you achieve success, sometimes that is somebody's biggest downfall, because they no longer have a North Star that they're chasing. They literally have said, I've achieved everything I want to achieve. There's nothing left. There's nothing pushing me. There's nothing pulling me towards it. And sometimes, for some people, that's the beginning of the end. You achieve that pinnacle and you feel like I've done it all. There's nothing more to do. I've put myself through all of this energy and effort and trials and tribulations, and now I've accomplished what I wanted to accomplish. You set that big, hairy, audacious goal, which I set a BHAG very, very early in my career. And I had a BHAG on income, and I've beaten that number. I had a BHAG on savings, and I'm almost to that number. And I thought, gosh, where do I go now? And so my definition of success has to have changed. Now, success early on is about chasing things, chasing things that you can buy, chasing money in order to have that sense of security. Success after that is more about things bigger than you instead of things smaller than you. So money and things are smaller than you. Purpose is bigger than you. And so you start chasing a purpose. You start looking at, why am I doing this? And what can I get out of this that is purpose driven, so that you're now driving towards a North Star that continues to push you to do more, not for the sake of more, but for the sake of the purpose, the sake of what you're trying to build. Now, if you're an investor and you're investing in real estate and you don't own a business and you're saying, John, how does this apply to me? Well, you have to think about, why did you get into investing? What is your purpose of being a real estate investor? And when you achieve that purpose, are you done? Should you shut it down? Do you continue to grow? Is your purpose to, hey, have 2 properties fully paid off by the time that I retire? Well, then maybe to get there, you buy 4 properties, because you don't have to have 2 properties paid to 0. You have to have 4 properties paid in half. And then you sell 2 of them and you pay off the other 2. So there's some hacks here that we can talk about that define success in a different way, that allow you to say, what's my purpose? My purpose is to have comfort and security in retirement because my parents didn't, because I don't want to be beholden to having to work every single day in retirement because I didn't take care of my finances and I don't have regular income coming in. I don't have enough money in savings, or I don't have enough in residual income, mailbox money, that we're able to build through owning real estate and getting passive income. Okay. Like, the first level of money is you trading hours for dollars and working for the money that you're making. The second level of money is leverage, is you utilizing the services of other people, hiring somebody at $30 an hour to do work that earns you $60 an hour. And so that's leverage, and that's multiplying beyond your particular time. But the third layer or step with leveraging money is money making money for you. That's investing, whether that be investing in homes, in which case, hey, I invested in that home and now I'm getting regular paychecks. Whether it's investing in the market, in the stock market, in Bitcoin, and in whatever it happens to be, where you're saying, hey, I'm making money from my money. Or whether it's investing in other businesses. Instead of being the business owner, be the angel investor and invest in somebody else's business. And now you're providing behind the scenes the money and maybe some of the support, and they're doing all of the work, and your money is making money on your behalf. So success definitions can change, but you want to make sure you always have a North Star. Doesn't mean you have to want more. Success is not always about having more. Often it's attributed to having more, and more can be better, but it isn't always better. I'll tell you, on Thanksgiving evening, more is not better when you're sitting down for Thanksgiving dinner and you walk away from that table completely stuffed like the turkey was right before dinner. You don't want to walk away that way. Therefore, more is not better. And in life and in business and in defining success, most people think success equals more money, more assets, more income, more toys, more houses, all of these things. But the truth is, success does not have to equal more. But you need to make sure that you've got that North Star of success. You've got your vision of what that looks like. And then you continue to iterate, to modify, just like I'm iterating right now. Just like I'm looking at this podcast that I've done and evaluating it and saying, hey, am I talking to the right audience? Am I talking about the right things? Do I have the right message? Is there something that I'm doing that I should be shifting? And maybe the answer is no. Maybe it's just about putting more time in, and that's okay too. But understand that you need to evaluate where you're at, and you need to be willing to make changes without abandoning something just because it hasn't worked yet. And that's exactly what I'm demonstrating with you right now. And I really, really appreciate you being on the ride with me. Again, I'm encouraging you to give me feedback, John@johnloneking.com, about what you thought about my podcast. about ways that you think that I can improve it or I should keep it exactly the same. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful holiday season, and I look forward to seeing you in the new year. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.